invocation tonight by Pastor Leann, Taylorville Christian Church, and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Our Father God, we just come to you tonight with grateful hearts, grateful for the city in which we live, grateful for those who have stepped up and taken the challenge to lead our city. And we just ask your blessings and your favor on this meeting, that good things would come from it. And we just come with grateful hearts for those who work to protect our city. We just ask for your protection on them tonight as they work to keep us safe. And we just pray that as some of them are moving on to new leadership in other cities, that you would bless them there. And those who are coming into new leadership positions here in the city of Taylorville, God, we just ask that you guide them, give them wisdom, give them discernment, because we know all things, good gifts come from you, and we just pray good things for our city. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Megan Bryant. Here. Larry Bell. Sean Bertle. Here. Ernie Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll. Here. Leann Zadi.
Here.
Jim Olive. Here. Crystal Teddy.
Here. All aldermen are present. Tonight we're on the Christian County Pee Wee Basketball Board as our volunteer of the month. Christian County Pee Wee Basketball is a youth basketball program open to all children from preschool to 4th grade. This winter will be the 6th year for the program. The practices will start at the end of December and games will begin in February with games every Saturday for 6 weeks. Sign-up for the upcoming season will start in December. All the games will be held at St. Mary's Gymnasium. Last year's season was the biggest one yet with 32 teams and over 240 players. The board is currently comprised of, if you please stand as I read your name, Jennifer Wayman, Jennifer Woodall, Renee Greamy, Lindsay Berry, Brad Turner, Mindy Robinson, and Val Lillard. Also Aaron Mann, he was unable to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, this month's Volunteer of the Month, the Christian County Pee Wee Basketball Board. I'd like to read this to you. This certificate of appreciation is hereby awarded to the Christian County Pee Wee Basketball Board for their outstanding volunteerism. I, Bruce Berry, Mayor of the City of Taylorville, do hereby proclaim October 7th, 2019 as Board of Christian County Pee Wee Basketball Day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
We also have cake and ice cream for everyone here. swearing in of Mike Mann Jr., Superintendent of Street and Sewer Department. Mike.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of street and sewer superintendent according to the best of your ability?
I will.
Congratulations.
Next is swearing in of John Blakeman as Human Resource Manager.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of Human Resource Manager according to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
There's also cake and ice cream for your family.
I'm out of here.
I'm just vote designation.
Hold on.
Oh,
She's gotta get back.
That's
Sorry.
just waiting on you.
Yeah, hang on.
Motion to approve the omnibus vote designation by Alderman Dorsones, second by Alderman Olive. Roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leann Dottie.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Minutes of the regular meeting held September 16, 2019. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held September 18, 2019. Minutes of the Ordinance Committee meeting held September 18, 2019. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held September 23, 2019. Minutes of the Street and Sewer Committee meeting held September 26, 2019. And minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held October 3rd, 2019. Motion to approve. Motion by Alderman Bud, second by Alderman Skoltedi. Roll call.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leann Dottie.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Planning Commission recommendation, we didn't have a quorum tonight for the Planning Commission, so it will be moved to October 21st. I believe we'll start it at 5:30 also. We got another addition on that, so we'll start at 5:30 on the 21st. An ordinance authorizing office space lease for the state passage program.
Let me speak to that briefly, Mr. Mayor, is that I passed out I had a second thought about this, but in the red line sentence that you have in the lease that I drafted for you, I wanted to make it clear that this program and the person who actually works with that program is an independent contractor, it's not an agent or representative or employee of the city. And you're leasing this for $1, and then you're gonna be paying the phone bill, electrical bill, that's what this basically says. But the ministerial association will be backing it up and provide hopefully the certificates of insurance as requested. If you choose to do this, the ordinance does require the vote of the mayor, and 7 of you have to vote in favor of it or it fails. 3/4 majority of the corporate authorities has to pass this.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
John Burns. Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 9-0. Resolution, IMRF notice of appointment of authorized agent. It used to be Cindy Brown, and upon her retirement, I'd like to appoint John Blakeman as the authorized agent.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman
Second.
Dorchenez, second by Alderman Driscoll. Discussion or comments? Roll call?
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
John Burns.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez.
Motion carries 8-0. Motion to approve the annual financial report for fiscal year ended April 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Skoltedi,
Second.
second by Alderman Bud. Roll call?
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
John Burns.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Motion authorizing the direct the mayor to sign vendor invoice number 205701 for airport project TAS 4342 in the amount of $2,187.16 for professional services rendered from CMT, and forward the request to IDOT for disbursement and approved payment of same pending receipt of disbursement.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Dorchenez,
Second.
second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call?
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
John Burns.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Motion to reimburse Ward 1 in the amount of $89,622.75 from 2017 to 2018 motor fuel tax funds for the Shumway, James Park, Cheney, and Webster overlay project.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Dorchenez,
Second.
second by Alderman Bud. Comment or discussion?
If anybody's got any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Roll call.
I have a question. Do we need approval from MFT for this to do some
No,
kind of
this-
resolution or anything?
When we did all those overlays, somehow or another Webster got put in there, and when the bill came in, it was the money that we had transferred before. And there wasn't enough to pay for all the overlays, so Jim and I said we would cover the $89,000, which is actually what cost for Webster Street. And we, with the agreement that once we got some money back from MFT, we would be reimbursed, and that's what this is.
Roll call.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Motion to accept the resignation of Fire Chief Mike Cruz effective October 23rd, 2019.
Sure,
you
you
can
can
stay
stay
here.
Motion Take it off the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Alderman
With a
Bertle.
comment.
Second by Alderman Skoltedi. Comment, Alderman Bertle.
It's a nice comment, Mike. We do appreciate your hard work. I think your professionalism and your love for the fire department shows through your work, so I hope wherever you're going that you will get through it.
Thank you very much.
Roll call.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yeah.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yeah.
Motion carries 8-0.
Yes, you can leave. Very good.
Motion to accept the resignation of Ron Nickel from the Board of Fire and Police Commission.
I'll make the last one. I ain't making this.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Skoltedi. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to accept the mayor's appointment of Robert Bassett to the Board of Fire and Police Commission.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant,
Second.
second by Alderman Driscoll. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney update.
First thing is, you've got a number of things coming up on your October 17th Finance Committee, one of which is American Towers. The mayor and Alderman Bud and I had a conversation with their representative today. We're looking forward to a response from them to up their offer. Hopefully you'll have that in hand to discuss at your October 17th meeting. It's unfortunate that Mike is leaving us because I think he's pleased to tell us the fire engine has been ordered.
Yes, sir, on the docket.
And so the 1 year is ticking away, so we're looking forward to that coming forth. The rural electric franchise renewal is going to be discussed, I think, at the Finance Committee. There's been some discussions with the mayor about that. I think those of you who attended the Illinois Municipal League Conference, and all of you can have access to the actual, I think, the reading materials that were put out, because you are a member of the Illinois Municipal League, but there are a number of policies that I think needs to be addressed, probably, and that would be the policy about absentee. These are things that came up at the meetings. Sidewalk policy, I think it's important we have that. In terms of, if you have a policy, for example, if you got sidewalks that need repaired, if you adopt an ordinance that basically says, we see it, but we can't afford to fix it, so we're not gonna fix it, therefore you're not losing your tort immunity. Without a policy, there's some new case law out that puts you at risk, so I think you need to take a look at that. They're talking about email policies, zoning regulations concerning wind farms, which are now on the horizon coming forward. Of course, the ordinance for cannabis was discussed, social media policy, policy about absentee voting, and court enforcement policies. There are a number of good materials that are on that website you ought to take a look at, and probably some of those you can do an ordinance and take some action on it. So I know Megan has got a whole list of things that she went to all the meetings, so that was good. That's all I got. Well, we're still waiting. I think maybe Mike's got some information on the tornado easement. Has a survey been done for that?
So the concern is that of course, the easement has been moved back to where we thought it was. And it was a surprise to the homeowner as well. So we went out there the other day, we talked to the husband and wife, and they're debating where they think they're comfortable with it at. So I think my concern is that they have to, number one, it could go in a void DAP potentially, but I think that might trigger a new assessment to where the sound, how far the sound travels. I wasn't part of when they placed that, but because it's going to be surrounded by trees, so it's more of a aesthetics problem for them. I think we should have an answer next week. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. Anybody have any questions? That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Romano.
Yes, sir.
Mayoral update. First, I want to thank the St. Louis Sluggers. There's a group in St. Louis that came last week and helped the tornado victims out in Jewettville and also a little bit in Taylorville. Also thank the people that fed them, the Crossroads Church, McLean's, Wits End, Spring Garden, Bill Stosty. I want to thank all them, and also the Taylorville FFA on their drive-up thing. So thank them. As the weather changes, it is time for the council to get to work. We have issues ahead of us, which include the legalization of retail sales of cannabis, the affirmative of alternative housing in our area, the preparation of repaving East Main from Cherokee to Walnut, and also the issue of funding our pension. The negotiating team will soon start the negotiations with all three unions, and we hope to have these agreements in place by the first of the year. The industrial park is getting closer to the groundbreaking, and the new water plant will soon be 100% up to running. We just had a very successful community event, the Chili Fest. Thank you to Patty Hornbuckle and the Chamber and the many volunteers who helped make this a success. Special thank you to all the city employees that helped with the chili tent on Saturday. We are currently applying for the new enterprise zone designation and are waiting on the city of Pana to complete our agreement. We will soon proceed with sewer projects in Ward 3, and I personally want to thank the council for their cooperation between the wards, especially Ward 2 Alderman Leland Zadi and Chris Scaltetti for their vision and money to help the city as a whole. We are saddened with the upcoming retirement of Chief Cruz and wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. I want to personally thank Chief Cruz for an excellent job. I hope to have a new chief that we can, swear in at the October 21st meeting. Working on that. We did advertise it in the Illinois Municipal League. We continue to get resumes in, and I will hopefully have someone picked by next Monday or Tuesday, and I will talk with each of you individually to see if you're thinking the same way I am. That's all I have tonight. Okay. Committee reports. Discussions and or motions to approve, adopt, and or deny, and or table, and or amend, and or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. Finance Committee, Alderman Bud.
Thank you, Your Honor. First motion out of the finance was to recommend the city council allow the use of the funds in the brick staining account for payment of repairs to the roof and brick seam at the fire station. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud. Second by Alderman Olive. Roll call.
Larry Bud,
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez, Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
The next motion, recommend the city council to contribute $5,000 to the senior citizen center. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Skoltedi. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive. Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Next motion was recommend the city council for reimburse Glenn Klug, owner of Klug's on the Square, $10,000 from the BDD fund for kitchen remodeling, subject to completion of the project and proof of receipts. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
The next one was, these are actually ordinances approving and authorizing the execution of the Business Development District Number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville, Illinois and Glenn Klug. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bertle. All in favor?
No, you gotta take a roll
Roll
call.
call. Excuse me.
And I think you've got the latest version, I think, today.
Yes, I
Everything
did.
else I saw, there was some typos, the mayor votes on this.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 9-0.
The next motion, recommend the city council reimburse Lori Ford, owner of the Family Traditions Bakery, $9,363.28 from the BDD fund, subject to completion of the project and proof of receipts. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud. Second by Alderman Olive. Roll call.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
This is an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of the Business Development District Number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville, Illinois and Lori Ford. Make that in form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 9-0.
And the last motion was recommend city council to accept the treasurer's report as presented. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud.
Second.
Second by Alderman Skoltedi. Roll call.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Brant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Street and sewer. And all the.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to recommend to the city council to the ordinance committee for approval of no parking signs located in the first 3 parking spaces of the 100 block of Franklin Street west of South Main for the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday in front of the Menta Academy Cornerstone Taylorville School. That form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Driscoll. Comments or questions? Roll call.
Thank you for being all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to recommend to the city council to forward to the ordinance committee for approval of a two-way stop sign to be placed at the intersection of North Silver and Pauline. Is that also in the form of motion?
Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Driscoll. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to recommend to the city council to proceed with the sewer project on Rich Street from Houston to Elevator Street and from Rich to England, Morton Street from Adams Street to Vanderbilt Street, with $100,000 coming from Ward 3, up to $50,000 come from Ward 2, and $100,000 comes from non-home rule excess account. Non-home rule excess account will be paid in addition to funds that exceed the $250,000 estimated cost. Put that in form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second by Alderman Dorchenez. Comment, Alderman Bertle.
Just a comment on it, to exceed the $250,000. If that's an estimate, why would we think they're gonna go over?
Well, I didn't, I just read that in just for everybody's purpose, it wasn't on the sheet, because it was, the figures came from, the engineer, Mr. Green. That was, between 220,000, 250,000 for the project.
That seems a little open-ended to me. I don't really like that. I mean, I don't mind if it runs over 251 or 260,000, but if it runs over 370,000, I care.
I understand that, it is very open, but that's the way it went through committee. Mr. Bud may be able to shine some light on that.
Well, the bids are out currently where they can receive the bid package right now.
Right.
And when the bids come in, if it comes in over the 250,000, then I think it needs to go back to the Street and Sewer Committee to review it, to see why it went over what the engineers said the cost should be.
I think that's a good idea.
And I would think that would be a common practice, surely. If the
You don't
estimate was
have-
250
you
and it
don't
comes
have
in at
to accept
270,
the bid if it's too high.
You
I
really
don't
won't have
What
a
I'm saying is we're
contract.
voting on this, and the way it reads means they can run whatever.
Yeah, but unless the bids are accepted by you folks, there's no contract,
Okay.
no project.
Okay. Roll call.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Burdell?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Leland Buddy?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
motion to recommend to the city council to use $16,619.69 from Ward 1, $16,619.68 from Ward 2 funds for the Pleasant Walnut Street project. Motion?
Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Burdell?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Leland Buddy?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Next motion to come out of committee, with motion to recommend to the city council to approve the purchase of a pump for the prison lift station, it says from the Village of Edinburgh, at a cost of $8,148, and I really think that should state, come from the, Van Venner Engineering, is where it's coming from. Okay, that's just a typo.
For the ones that weren't at the committee, the Village of Edinburgh had purchased this, and the retail cost of it was like $11,000
and some dollars, yes.
and it wasn't the right one, so they're giving it back to Van Venner, and Van Venner is selling it to us at a discounted rate, and also gonna give us full 5-year warranty. on it.
Yes, correct.
So. Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Skoltedi. Roll call.
Sean Burdell?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Leland Buddy?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Driscoll
Yes.
Megan Brant,
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0. Emergency Services,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Driscoll.
The first motion will be the motion to recommend to the city council to allow Fire Chief Cruz to purchase 32 SCBA cylinders from MES Municipal Emergency Services, with the Fire Protection District contributing $18,300 and the city's portion being $19,030.
Motion by Alderman Driscoll, second by Alderman Olive. Questions or comments?
I'm assuming this 18.3 fire chief is in the,
Yes, sir.
the
Yeah,
appropriation
that'll
order.
take care of that
Okay.
line.
Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leland
Yes.
Bud. Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Sorry. Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
I'm so
Um,
proud.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve and/or ratify payment of bills.
Make that
Motion
for a motion.
by Alderman Bud, second by Alderman Driscoll. Alderman Bud, got a comment?
Bills total $591,645.55. Insurance, $102,905.52. Illinois Public Risk for Workers' Comp November, $24,237. Total insurance is $127,142.53. Electric, $29,027.14. Garbage, 1425 is a demo on it, but there's 3,341. Big R, Ace, Urban and Ron, 2,542.51. Quill, office supplies, 1,223.93. Computer tech, 10,925.26. Ford and Harrison, labor attorney, 2,208. Meyer, Austin, Romano, 4,191. Lively, Mathis, Cooper, and Noblet for the audit, 31,400. Senior Citizen Center, 5,000. Altor for 4,821.40. Green and Bradford, 26,889.25. R&D Computer System Software Support, 1,173. United Capital Funding for Temporary Help, 9,119.88. Vanovetter Engineering, 2,081.65. Sprinkled Overhead Door, the Gagney Building, this has been reimbursed by the insurance, 2,488. Tornado, Joe Servi for demo, 2,350. Langen Farms for 91 stumps, 7,575. Safety Committee, buoys for the lake, 1,325. Police Department, Keesler's Police Supply for ammo, 5,440. NSYNC Systems License Agreement, 5,700. Fire Department, Global Emergency Services, permitting maintenance on truck number 1, 3,631.66. ATI Services of Illinois, preventative maintenance engine number 3, 1,095.06. Street Department, Truman Flat, 175,261.88. Paint and Limestone, 1,684.45. Willis Marsh, 8,827.95. Blueville Garage Repairs to Equipment, 1,425.50. Sewer Department, Railroad Management for a permit, 1,029.08. Water Department, Chemicals, 26,113.05. Rockty Engineering, repairs to well number 4 pump, 10,434.95. Primatech for wastewater treatment, 4,945. USA Blue Book for lab supplies, 2,049.36. Airport, Aero Energy for fuel, 31,050.23. Crawford Murphy Tilly, 3,934.70. Filtration Corp, repairs to fuel pumps, 1,298.05. And all of these total to 557,716.77.
Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Leland Bud.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Crystal Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie
Yes.
Dorchenez.
Motion carries 8-0. First subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Open Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120/1FC mandates no action shall be taken on subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matter to a future council and/or committee meeting. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address. Limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes and avoid repetitious comments. Anyone out in the audience would like to speak to the council? Mr. Richardson?
Go ahead.
Mr.
Yes,
Davis?
my name's Richard
Stand up
Davis.
and
I
state
live
your
north
name.
of the
You
new
need to
water.
stand up and tell them who you are.
My name's Richard Davis. I live in the subdivision north of the water department. My concern is the contractor has messed up a few things and has never been corrected. I'm sure it's coming to an end with everything being done. And my concern is, when are we going to get it finished? What my problem is when the contractor raised the dirt level with the natural flow of water, it's not there anymore. That caused water to come back up into my yard. Now, since then, they put the fence up. The contractor for the fence, who I'm sure is a subcontractor, was up in my yard, probably 20 feet or something, when it was in March, and ruts like crazy. The city department came out and did put some dirt in there. The dirt is all full of rocks and stuff. It needs more dirt put in there to cover up the rocks. You can't even, it's dangerous to mow down there, and I need more dirt to correct that. It's fall, no chance of having grass start this way. It's been so long. The other problem, I think Randy will address you there, is we have 3 of the residents out there that their septic tanks are overflowing because of the dirt that the contractor put in there blocked the drain. So they got a serious problem there. And I just wondered, is there any way to get these corrected before the contractor leaves and we're hung up there in a mess?
Alderman Gerber?
The contractor is he's not done. The project's not really even close to being completed yet. And all those issues that you brought up are still on the table, and they're still currently working on them. So as far as the dirt goes, they still have to put some dirt back in that corner, including your yard. The septic system, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong here, the septic systems are actually going across somebody else's property, not the actual people that live there. There's a strip of land that runs between the new water plant and those homes, so those septic systems actually run across that person's yard. Now, they may have blocked the end of the laterals up when they did the earthwork back there, but I think that's in the works today, if I'm not correct. They're trying to find any of those laterals, but the project's not done yet. So the thought that they're just gonna escape and not remedy these situations is false. They will take care of them. But the septic system is kind of a catchy thing, because they're actually draining on.
Sean, can I correct you?
Let me
I'm
finish. I
sorry.
mean, the septic systems are actually coming across somebody else's property, so.
Yeah, that's correct.
Technically, that's really not allowed. Now, I don't know if they discharge on city property or the.
That's why I'd like just, if I could, I'll give you a copy of this, and I'll give a copy to Rocky. And then I only have 3 other copies of it, but you're welcome to, there's 2 pieces, there's two legal documents here. One's a grant of a non-exclusive easement, and the other one is the survey of the original plat of the subdivision, which was in 1993. In both these documents, there's exclusive right in perpetuity for easement for these laterals, and it's a part of the plat. The laterals, there's 2 of them. One of them comes behind my house, goes all the way down to the bottoms behind Nolan's house, then crosses across what's now Gill's property, and then comes onto the city, and it went all the way to where the bottoms used to start before we tore all the trees out back in there. There's 2 tiles. There's another one that comes behind where Smith lives. It comes behind where Dan Bodie, and then joins together. There's 2 of them that carried on out. We let the contractor know several times when they were out there starting the earthwork that we had those tiles there, and they're a part of a legal easement that we have that goes along with that subdivision. And it's all described in these documents, and how, I don't know how they're not, I don't know how they were missed by the property owners. Here, I'll give you these. Would you like to copy this so you can send it to all of them? But anyway, we have a permanent easement that goes across there. It's designed for our runoff from our wastewater systems. There's no other place for it to go. It's gotta go downhill. And so this tile goes around, was put in back at that point. Some of them, we've had Dan Bodie down at his end, was the first one. He's at the very bottom of the hill. He was the very first one to start backing up. He didn't know what was going on. He couldn't figure it out. And his got so bad that he had some laterals, actually like the old style sewer. He had brought in a contractor and they put in some laterals to try to ease his situation. Since then, Nolan's and Brocklesby's home, which is up a little higher up, they are having the same thing. They've got their septic tanks overflowing. And it came to my attention from Mr. Brocklesby and Mr. Nolan. It hasn't reached my house yet. I'm farther up the hill, and so it's not reached my house yet, but they've got a real problem. And we're looking for you guys to help us out with this, to get the contractor to go down there and find those tiles and open up the ends of them, is basically what we're asking for, so.
I don't think that should be a problem. I haven't had a chance to read these.
Oh, I know you haven't, and I'm just saying.
These that he had is with, I'm assuming whoever owns the property, Dr. Gill currently owns then.
Dr. Gill's given us a permanent easement to go across his property for any kind of repair, so we have that.
Another easement in here for the old golf course property also, so it's stating that those laterals could drain into that, what we have now is a drainage ditch.
That's correct.
And I think the contractor, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, is aware that there's lateral problems, and are they not currently looking for them?
Actually, the plumber that's working for Brocklesby and Nolan, I've met with him a couple of times, and they're trying to determine where it comes onto our property, so we can see where to access it. So,
well, between Dick and I, we can give you a pretty good idea where, I mean, it's hard to tell exactly where things are at there now because it's so much different, but we have a pretty good idea. They used to, you remember that little rock bridge that went over when you went around the wetland area there that was all trees growing up in there? There was a little rock bridge that went over that people used to cut over the top of. Those tiles ended there, is where they actually ended up at. So it's pretty far down. It's pretty far down.
So both those collectors ended near the same point?
At the exact same point, yes. Exactly.
When these were put in, they were permitted with the Department of Public Health, or known as collectors, so it's not, they weren't put in illegally, they were put in legally at the time. Whether they match the code today doesn't matter. At the time they were put in correctly under the Department of Public Health code.
And this non-exclusive easement also has other things, provisions in there, like trees and all kinds of other things. And Rocky knows, he understands all this stuff. So there's other things that not only gives us easement, but also helps with the city with any of their problems out there as well. We appreciate your helping us if you can. Like I said, I don't have a problem yet, but it probably is going to soon start backing up. I think I'm dumping into theirs now. So,
well, I know we've had words in the past with the water plant, but
yeah.
we do not want you to have problems in the end.
Oh,
so anything that we can do to remedy the problem, we're going to try to do. I don't know that as a plumber aware of these easements, they would have helped them to.
I imagine so.
And I know that you all have the best intentions out there. Kind of kills me to commend you on something, but I will.
It's okay.
The water plant looks very nice. The water plant looks very nice. I think you've done as much with that as you could. I'm not in favor of it, never will be, but I think you've done a nice job out there. His concerns, I think, are legitimate, though. There's really rutted. I know that you're concerned about mowing. The way they tapered that is just, there's full of ruts. And you come out there, you can see it. They just need to taper better and get it covered up better. And then, of course, his situation actually ponds back onto his property because they kind of tilted it back the wrong way. So it needs to be lifted up. And I think it's going to take a lot of dirt to fix his problem. I think it's going to have to come up 3 or 4 feet up higher on his property in order to get that to where it'll drain out into that ditch. So I think with all your help, we'll get these things taken care of. The fence looks fine. I commend you on all the things you've done out there. I commend the city council on a lot of things that you've done. I give you all hell when I see you individually, and I apologize for that. But as a whole, I think you've done a lot of good things in Taylorville. I think there's a lot of positive things that are happening. I think maybe the tornado kind of brought people closer together as well. But the city of Taylorville, I think feels more of a community than what it has in many, many, many years. And I think we're going to have good things happen in Taylorville. I'm positive of that because I think you guys are all showing good leadership. So I'm going to sit down and shut up, which I know is very hard for me to do. So
Actually,
get you to continue.
Hey, Randy, just because you ended on a good note, so am I. Currently, they're in discussions about the landscaping around the property, which includes trees, which includes some grass planting back there next to you guys' property, or at least what your back of your houses face.
Yeah.
So hopefully at that time, the erosion issues,
Right.
the grass.
Sure.
There's some trees gonna be replanted.
That'll help
down there.
wonderfully.
Trees planted down there when we took all them trees out, so we've taken all that into consideration early on,
Right.
and maybe it wasn't communicated properly.
I wanted to offer up Mary Dawson's help to anybody that would want to use her. You know, she used to teach at the high school. Her mother apparently had some serious erosion problems, a similar kind of a situation where they had a large firm, and they spent several years trying to figure out something. She has pretty good knowledge about that, and she said she's willing to share her knowledge that she has with anybody if they would like to contact her. As far as the type that she said they tried, you know, dozens of different kinds of trees, and they finally found something that was really works good on this situation. So I'm sure the engineers out there also have, you know, people that are on staff as well. But if you have any interest, she said that she would be glad to share what she's learned through the years. So,
And I would encourage any property owner out there that has any information about the sewer issue to get a hold of Dave.
Yeah.
Or if they see somebody out there working, you know, feel free to walk out there and give them any kind of information that can help them locate those pipes.
okay. Well, it's actually on the plat where they're at. So I think if we actually use that, we might be able to locate in on that. So,
Okay.
so we'll have to do that.
Thank
Thank you so much for your time.
Alderman Glenn?
I guess my frustration is this, that we're nearing completion to the inside the plant. And I got an update for the report, which I enjoy getting because it lets you know where we're at. But we're now starting on the old plant, and I just don't understand why we aren't getting any of the dirt work done out there when we're sitting 6 weeks away when winter's gonna start be coming in, and it takes a different person that's doing the inside of the building that's gonna do the dirt work. And why they haven't gotten started on the dirt work. I just don't understand that.
I'll see if we can move that up a little bit, so.
I mean, we've discussed it, you know, and I know they met the other day, the mayor and Jim did, and I couldn't be there because of the opens meetings, you know, and discussed this with Jamie, but I don't understand why we can't be getting on that, and getting that done. That would help a lot out there, improve a lot of that if we get that dirt work on.
Alderman Olive?
I might add that the day that the mayor and I were out there and met with Jamie, that he, I think later on that day, he was going to meet with the people doing the dirt work on the exterior, back in the erosion area, if you will. And that was, I don't know where it's at from there, but I do know that it was being discussed that day with the person doing that portion of the work.
Just keep in mind, there is a timetable with getting the new plant completed, substantially completed, getting it operational. There's days involved in how long it has to operate before you start tearing down the old plant. So there's some time frames in there that are probably, and I hate to say this, Randy, in front of you, but that would be more important than the erosion. They're not done yet. If we would give them the ability to get the project done, we definitely want to take care of the sewer issue, but as far as the dirt work goes, even though it wouldn't be great, it could be done even in the spring, hopefully not. Hopefully they'll get it done this fall, because this is the time to do, if you're gonna do some planning, this is the time to do it.
Okay, may I address you again? I think what Mr. Davis's concern is that you guys pay him all the money and then we can't get him to come back
That
and
will not
fix
happen.
things, so that's his biggest concern, so.
That
I don't mean to speak for you, but that's what his concern is.
Anyone else like to speak about any other matter or anything else? All right, see nobody? Motion for adjournment? By Alderman Dorsones, second by Alderman Olive, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you for this.
Meeting is adjourned.